ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। Thank you everyone for joining us in this study of Srimad Bhagavatam. It's always very encouraging to see you participating in this study of Srimad Bhagavatam. And thank you for coming and blessing us. And we'll continue our study and Srimad Bhagavatam 8th canto, pastimes of Gajendra, the king of the elephants, Gajendra. Indra actually means king. Indra means king. No? Indra, the king of the heavenly planet. So it's a post, it's a position. And Gaj is a elephant. And Indra is the Gajendra. Indra is the king, so Gajendra is the king of the elephant. So we are here trying to understand the life of a elephant, life of Gajendra, and how he attains transcendence. So today we enter into third chapter of 8th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter entitled Gajendra's Prayers of Surrender. So far we've seen Gajendra being in a real tight spot. He's in a very, he's seeing that face to face. In Srimad Bhagavatam, second canto, first chapter, beginning, we see Varyanesha te prashna. So, Suta Goswami is glorifying all these inquiries. And we see Srimad Bhagavatam. So, Dev Goswami is having an inquiry with Parikshit Maharaj. Parikshit Maharaj having an inquiry with Sukdev Goswami. Then the sages of Naimisharanya, headed by Saunaka Rishi, having an inquiry with Suta Goswami. Further on, we see different times. Bhagavatam is not in chronological order, by the way. So we see Yudhishthira Maharaj having an inquiry with Narad Muni. Elsewhere, we see Maitri Muni, Vidur having an inquiry. Vasudevji having an inquiry with Narad Muni in Srimad Bhagavatam and all. So the sages, the devotees, they become very gladdened when they hear when they get a call of an inquiry. the sages become very glad, and whenever a inquiry call comes, say, okay, some question or something coming, na? And all these inquiries into life, birth, and beyond on loving Krishna. Uh, so we see in Srimad Bhagavatam what Tesam pramato nidhanam pashyanapi na pashyati. Very beautiful it is said. Second canto, first chapter, text 4, we see this. Tesham pramato nidhanam. Tesham is them or us, living entities. Pramato, pramat. Pramat is too much maddened, intoxicated. Tesham pramato nidhanam. Pashyan api na pashyati. Pashyan is to see. Api although na pashyati. Even though seeing but not seeing. Deha patra kalatridishu. Pashyan api na pashyati. How does the translation go? 214. Second canto, first chapter, I think text 4.
Persons devoid of Atma Tattva do not inquire into the problems of life, being too attached to the fallible soldiers like the body, children, and wife. Although sufficiently experienced, they still do not see their inevitable destruction.
Deha patra kalatradishu. Thank you, bro. Atmasenasva asatva api. Tesham pramato nidhanam pashyanapi na pashyati. So heavily absorbed in this bodily identity of life. And from stemming from this bodily identity of life comes all of this I, me, and mine, family, children, society, community, all of this. And Atma Senasva Asatvapi, thinking them to be all mine, but everyone is helpless, everyone. Resting on spouse or parents. Many times children feel now what will happen to us without parents. Parents think what will happen to us without children, support of children and all. And in Western world, it is more, the social structure is slightly different as opposed to the social structure in Vedic system. And in Western world, it is more reliance on government and social credit and social system like this support system sort of. But everything is based on bodily identity. So Gajendra, he realized this, he experienced this, that he was looking at his family. See, one crocodile and these many elephants. It was not just one elephant versus one crocodile. Na? In Srimad Bhagavatam, we don't see the mention of many crocodiles coming to attack Gajendra. It was just one crocodile. And we see that Gajendra was getting help from his wives and from his children as well, young baby elephants as well. But crocodile being an animal of the water and Gajendra being an element of the land, so crocodile had more power. And this is everything happening by the will of Krishna, by the will of providence. Even in our lives, even now and before and going forward as well, everything is happening by the will of Krishna. Having said that, we all have a role to play as well. We all have a participation there. It is not like we are robotic as such. No, we all have a role to play. But our material quota of happiness and distress is prearranged, it is predestined, it is set. How much happiness materially one is going to get is predestined, and how much sad also. Whatever money, making money, losing money, education, all of that is predetermined. It is locked and it is hard to change. But we all have a free will to exercise, to harness our spiritual quality, to harness our spiritual factor. That power is in us, and this is what Gajendra is doing. My throat, anyways, is not so good like last few days and all, a little bit. And then on top of that, I had quite a bit of sweets, prasadam, just before. Uh, um, who can become a devotee? Hmm? Even an elephant can become a devotee. Who can become a devotee? A child can also become a devotee, Prahlad Maharaj. Hmm? Elephant. So everyone can become a devotee. When can one become a devotee? Elephant at the last leg of his life. He's counting his breath and becoming a devotee. That doesn't mean we should leave it to the last moment. We actually we leave it to the last moment, we won't be able to as such. So the sooner the better. Why miss out on this joy of practicing Krishna consciousness? But it is not like okay, never too late. So for elephant as well, it wasn't too late. So the elephant realized that no, my friends, family members, and all, they cannot rescue me. They cannot help me from this clutch of crocodile. And actually, everything comes as an instrument. This crocodile is also comes as an instrument in this elephant's life. Ah. Everyone is playing a role and comes as an instrument. Ultimately, the Vicina Gajendra is it is by the will of the providence or under the power of eternal time. Uh, Everything is sanctioned by Krishna. It is a fact. Everything is sanctioned by Krishna. Having said that, we have a role to play. We all have an equal role to play. In the sense, we all, for now, we know our date of birth, right? All of us know our date of birth. What more, all of us know our place of birth as well. We know where we were born. What more, all of us know the time of our births. Hmm? What more, all of us know our parents, our mom and dad. So we know this, our date of birth, our place of birth, time of birth. But did we actually choose our date of birth? Did I exercise that control? Did I have that control to decide, okay, on such and such day, I will take birth. On such and such place, I will born. To such and such parents, I will born. No. That is predestined. Lord Brahma going through our karmic records, fine. This is where you take birth, this is when you take birth, this is to whom you take birth, and so on. We also have a role to play, just like, say, penalty shootout in football. Now, at the time of penalty shootout, and the player is given some seconds, I imagine he's given some time to settle himself and all, and aim. But when he kicks the ball, it is not in his control. So until that time or within, before, in fact, in the, just a general example, say in the game of football, 90 minutes game, the rules and all, everything has been described to the players. They know in advance and they have done the training and all. But now in the ground, it is up to them how they play. The coach might be there yelling from the stands, from the bench, but it's up to the players how they play, and accordingly they are playing. They are deciding whether they are going high up in the next games in the tournament or going down. So we know our date of birth, place of birth, time of birth, etc. Our parents and everything. But did we decide? Both yes and no. Previously we acted in a way. Previously we acted in a way. We done things in a way. We had some desires and all. And based on our desires, based on our thought process, based on our actions, Lord Brahma decides the karmic record and then tells us. And actually, we see this is how the society also operates. Society actually functions in the way Shastras are given by and large. Uh, by and large, based on some code of conduct, some principles, and the what is given in the Shastras. Like maybe again a general example could be a bit loose example as well. But order to apply for a university in the UK, so what you do your GCSE or O level, whatever they say, and then you apply for certain universities. Um, but it is not, once you have done your job, it is as such not in your hands, I imagine, I think. Uh, Based on your score, based on your report card, then the universities can pick and choose, okay, yes, we can have you, we cannot have you. So point being, we all have a fair role to play. But once Arjuna, say, Arjuna had to fight the war and he had to kill people. But killing was as such not in his hands. What was in his hands is aiming. Is aiming. So he can pull the arrow. He can take the bow, pull the arrows, make the string, pull the arrow, aim and pull. But will it hit the target or not? That is not in his hands. That is in Krishna's hands. So it is a fact that everything is sanctioned by Krishna. Everything is working under the supervision, under the guidance, under the vision of Krishna altogether. As they say, now what? Not a grass of blade moves without the will of the Lord. Not a not a blade of grass moves without the will of the. Thank you, Alan. My England is not so good actually, so I do apologize. Yeah, not a blade of grass moves without the will of the Lord. It's a fact. So now all this Gajendra is realizing. What a blessing. What a blessing. Um, Better late than never, no? He's seeing that. But okay, let us read some verses from this text. One, Shri Badarayani Vacha. Evam vyavasito buddhya samadhaya manoridi jap paramam japyam pragajanmani anukshitam. Sri Sukdev Goswami continued. Thereafter, the king of the elephants, Gajendra, fixed his mind in his heart with perfect intelligence and chanted a mantra which he had learned in his previous birth as Indradyumna, and which he remembered by the grace of Krishna. Just before this, we'll read the translation of second chapter, the last verse. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is certainly not known to everyone, but he is very powerful and influential. Therefore, although the serpent of eternal time, which is fearful in force, endlessly uh, chases everyone, ready to swallow him, if one who fears this serpent seeks shelter of the Lord gives him protection. For even death runs away in fear of the Lord. I therefore surrender unto him, the great and powerful supreme authority, who is the actual shelter of everyone. This is the best thing one can do in life, is take shelter of Krishna. You know, blessed and protected is that person who has taken the shelter of the Lord. One who has sheltered, he can be rest assured. He can be very assured that yes, he is fine. One who has taken the shelter of the Lord. Taken the shelter of the Lord, meaning taken the shelter of the internal energy of the Lord. One who is in union with the Lord in loving devotional service. One who has no other agenda other than the agenda of the Lord and spiritual master. The agenda of the Lord and spiritual master are completely in sync. They are in one line. And becoming a disciple is this, to make myself also in one line with that agenda. So one who is sheltered, for him, there is nothing to worry. Fall down is for someone who is not sheltered by the Lord or who has not taken shelter of the Lord. For them, there is the fall down. We see in 10th canto, 2nd chapter, 32 verse, Lord Brahma says, uh, that Vimukta Maninas, one who has not actually taken shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They think that they are liberated, but actually they are not. And having not taken shelter of the lotus feet of Lord Shri Krishna, having not taken shelter of devotees, having not taken shelter of loving devotional service, they fall down. But one who is sheltered for him, there's nothing to worry. He's rising in Krishna consciousness, not falling down. He's growing in Krishna consciousness. He's experiencing joy every moment. When Krishna is with him, when Krishna is with someone, what is the scope of one's falling down? Say? But one who is not sheltered, one who is not in sync with Krishna, one who is not in union with Krishna in that loving relationship, in that agenda, for him it is like padam padam yad vipadam natesham. That danger at every step. So blessed is one soul who has taken shelter, and here we see the elephant taking shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So in the final moment, let us read a couple more translations. So we can read text 2, Shri Gajendra Uvacha. Such is the language in Srimad Bhagavatam. What? Not the elephant is also called as Shri Gajendra Uvacha. Shri means respect also, and Shri means wealth as well, opulence as well, beauty as well. So here, Shri Gajendra Uvacha, not just Gajendra Uvacha. The king of the elephants, Gajendra, said, I offer my respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Person, Vasudev. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Because of him, this material body acts due to the presence of spirit, and he is therefore the root cause of everyone. He is worshipable for such exalted persons as Brahma and Shiva, and he has entered the heart of every living being. Let me meditate upon him. So now he is going to chant the mantra, meditate and offer some prayers to the Lord. The Supreme Godhead is the supreme platform on which everything rests, the ingredient by which everything has been produced, and the person who has created and is the only cause of this cosmic manifestation. Nonetheless, he is different from the cause and the result. I surrender unto him, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is self-sufficient in everything. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, by expanding his own energy, keeps this cosmic manifestation visible and again sometimes renders it invisible. He is both the supreme cause and the supreme result, the observer and the witness in all circumstances. Thus, he is transcendental to everything. May the Supreme Personality of Godhead give me protection. Did you say, Ellen, you wanted to read from here? Okay, you can read, yeah, text 5 onwards.
What text are we on?
5. This one on the screen.
In due course of time, when all the causative and effective manifestations of the universe, including the planets and their directors and maintainers, are annihilated, there is a situation of dense darkness. Above this darkness, however, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, I take shelter of his lotus feet.
Continue.
Text 6. An artist on stage being covered by attractive dresses and dancing with different movements is not understood by his audience. Similarly, the activities and features of the supreme artist cannot be understood even by the demigods or great sages, and certainly not by those who are unintelligent like animals. Neither the demigods and sages nor the unintelligent can understand the features of the Lord, nor can they express in words his actual position. May that Supreme Personality of Godhead give me protection.
Continue.
Yeah, continue. Text 7. Renunciants and great sages who who see all living beings equally, who are friendly to everyone, and who flawlessly practice in the forest the vows of brahmacharya, vanaprastha, and sannyasa, desire to see the all-auspicious lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. May that same Supreme Personality of Godhead be my destination. And text 8 and 9. The Supreme Personality of Godhead has no material birth, activities, name, form, qualities, or faults to fulfill the purpose for which this material world is created and destroyed. He comes in the form of a human being like Lord Rama or Lord Krishna by his original internal potency. He has immense potency and in various forms, all free from material contamination. He acts wonderfully. He is therefore the Supreme Brahman. I offer my respects to him. Text 10. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the self-effulgent Supersoul who is the witness in everyone's heart, who enlightens the individual soul and who cannot be reached by exercises of the mind, words, or consciousness. Text 11. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is realized by pure devotees who act in the transcendental existence of Bhakti Yoga. He is the bestower of uncontaminated happiness and is the master of the transcendental world. Therefore, I offer my respect unto him.
Any question or comment so far?
Just a question on something that you spoke on earlier with the predestined karma. So I was wondering, is the only way to get out of that karma and to change that karma becoming a devotee, or would also changing your material mode that you're acting in, would that also affect your karma? Like, for example, when you've been acting a lot of in the mode of ignorance, but then you change your mode to the mode of goodness, would that have an effect? Or is it only that you have to become spiritual that you can change your karma?
A nice question. We are very much strangled in the different modes. So much so, we are like the in-betweeners, if that is a word. In the sense, we are neither in mode of goodness nor ignorance. We are not heavily ignorant, and we are not heavily in the mode of goodness as well. We are in between us, like we have lots of ignorant qualities, some good qualities, some passionate qualities, sort of. And certainly these modes, we are heavily influenced by them. We are under their control, although we are superior to the modes. But because we do not realize our potential, because we are so bodily identity fixed, and so we get carried away by these modes, and it is heavily required as well for us to maintain peace in society and peace amongst ourselves. Believe it or not, if we don't have this illusion, or if we are not under this chaos, we will go in a much deeper chaos. We won't be able to handle that chaos. So it is good that we are under the modes of nature and we are influenced by them, and we live life in this bodily identities, nationalistic identities, and other identities, and have our fights and all things and all. This actually keeps us somewhat sane. But this is ultimately to be cut off. So one in the mode of ignorance will act as in the mode of ignorance, one in the mode of passion, and mode of goodness. Someone coming in the mode of goodness can actually have a more stable mind, a more sanity, more cool head, and he can somewhat look into the future. Like 14th chapter of Bhagavad Gita speaks on these modes of material nature, very nice. And in 14.5 or 6, I think 6 maybe, in the purport, maybe the very first sentence, Prabhupada explains what? That there are three kinds of people in this world. One is happy, another is active, and another is lazy. Sorry, lazy or miserable. So one in the mode of good is happy, one in the mode of passion active, and one in the mode of ignorance is lazy or miserable. So our modes affect our thought process. It's a cyclical effect. The thought process we carry, we are attracted to those modes. When we associate with those modes, we act accordingly, we think accordingly, we speak accordingly, we eat, dress, everything. We listen to music accordingly, we watch pictures accordingly. We have friends accordingly, company and all, and then we act also accordingly. So coming out from mode of ignorance and we come to somehow say mode of goodness or mode of passion, fine. We are not carrying then heavy karma, but nonetheless we are carrying karma though. Even though in the mode of goodness, but still it is within the modes, there is going to be a karmic reaction. Like devotees explain, na? Someone in the mode of ignorance is bound up, bound up by what? Bound up by a chain or ropes of iron. So he's bound up by shackles of iron. Someone in mode of passion is also bound up by chains of silver, say. Although very good. huh? And someone in mode of goodness is bound up by chains of gold. Now, I don't know in Western world, not don't think so much, but in India, gold people like very much. And they wear gold. Now, suppose a lady, if you tell her, okay, we'll bind you up with gold altogether. She may like, oh, I like gold, but this much and bound up altogether, not so easy to handle. So, even though having good karma, having good living in the mode of goodness, as in cleanliness, tidiness, punctuality, good eating, and good drinking, good thoughts, kind, gentle, charitable, all of this is one is doing good karma, but then what good is that good? Not so good enough. In the scheme of eternity, what it is? It is just that this good karma helps us maintain some sanity. We can be on the path of righteousness and we need not easily go into the path of insanity or sin on those lines. But still, it is not good enough. The only way to change our karma, the only way to end this karmic entanglement is by becoming entangled in love with Krishna. That is the only way that we can end or we can transfer our law of karma. Currently, see, we are practicing Krishna consciousness, and even now in our current state, what is happening? Our our karmic account, which is in the hands of Lord Brahma, is getting transferred to Krishna. The entire, but our database is very huge, and also it's taking time, everything to get transferred. And once we attain that sort of purity, Lord Brahma, everything will be wiped out. Like when Brahma sees, he will be say at the end of our life. Luckily, hmm, uh, actually, it is a wishful thinking to become a devotee. It is a wishful thinking to think that okay, I am a devotee, or I am becoming a devotee, or I have become a devotee, or I will become a pure devotee. Personally speaking, it is a wishful thinking for me to think that I will become a pure devotee. But say somehow or other, or definitely by the grace of Guru and Gaurang, by the mercy of Shri Guru, I become pure devotee. So what will happen? Lord Brahma, he will see the karmic account, and what will he see? Just a name, and even he might just see the karmic name. Huh? Nothing, everything wiped out. Everything wiped out. There's nothing, although acting. I give an example. See, also we can check Brahma Samhita in Veda-based library, BS Brahma Samhita, and 554 is very good verse, I think, 554. An example, like in UK, there are telecom companies, na? What? EE, Talk, Vodafone, and what else? O2, GiveGaf, some of these, right? Now, each of these telecom providers, there's this option of what? Having a postpaid phone bill system, right? And generally people go for a prepaid plan, but say some businessman, some big businessman, some big politician or sports person, or that send me a monthly bill and take money from me. There's some minimum rent, say, for the plan, and or this much bill will come, these are the phone charges, these many messages, all of this, and could be say prepaid as well. Point being, I'm in a contract with a telecom company. And all of this, say at the end of the month, a huge bill comes. At the end of 6 months, or say I'm in a 1 year contract, at the end of a year, a huge bill comes. What? I made these many phone calls, I made these many messages, this much internet data usage, all of this. And technically speaking, I ought to be paying the telecom company, say, £500, say, for the whole year of using the facility. But I have nothing to pay. How come? Say the telecom company comes up with a plan or something, or the CEO says, okay, this person just clear. Although his account may show everything to be paid, but for this person, nothing, there is nothing to pay. In the sense, although we are making phone calls, although we are doing everything, but it is not getting registered in the system. Maybe they could give us a SIM and make phone calls, but it doesn't get registered in the system. On those lines, one could be studying, say one could be aspiring to do a master's degree, say. One could be wanting to study, one could be working, and one could be doing things. And apparently, on the external, it doesn't seem to be a Krishna conscious thing. Masters, what's the big? Even if someone does masters in international research and peace, security, and food impact and resolving conflict and all of such things, heavy studies nowadays. Some of the this subjects and all, but say someone does masters or PhD in that now, but if she is a devotee. Externally seems what, okay, a student or someone who is working, and external life is pretty much the same, eating, food and all, everything, shopping and things, but it is a matter of consciousness. So in by one's consciousness, if it is engage one's consciousness in loving and serving devotional service, in loving and serving Krishna, Shri Guru, like that, then although acting but not acting, although acting but not acting, so one won't get any karmic result out of it, because it is all for love. Arjuna fought, Arjuna fought, he killed so many, but there was no karmic reaction on him. There was no karmic reaction, no sinful reaction, because he was acting under the will of Krishna, under the direction of Krishna. And had he acted any untowardly, and if you kill a single person, one will surely receive a karmic reaction for it. So point being, yeah, even in modes we get influenced, and mode of goodness, even though good, but it is not good enough. Mode of goodness is just good enough because it frees us from the influence of passion and ignorance. But then we are stuck in the mode of goodness. So the mode we want to go in is what? Mode of love. That mode we want to enter. And it's only in the mode of love that there is no karmic account. No. Because love is beyond right and wrong. Love is beyond good and bad. Love is mistake free. Love is error free. Yeah? It is only in this duality. Karma is where there is duality. Where there is right and wrong, good and bad, there is karma. But love is above right and wrong. Love is above good and bad. So no karma. Does this answer your question? And is it this Brahma Samhita 554 that also speaks on this? Maybe, yeah. If you read the translation, please, you put it on the screen.
I adore the primeval Lord Govinda, who burns up to their roots all fruitive activities of those who are imbued with devotion and impartially ordains for each the due enjoyment of the fruits of one's activities, of all those who walk in the path of work in accordance with the chain of their previously performed works, no less in the case of the tiny insect that bears the name of Indragopa than in that of Indra, king of the Devas.
Yeah. So when we are imbued with the love of God, then all the reactions is burned away. Like the holy name of Krishna is so powerful that we cannot imagine the amount of sins one performs, and one name can eradicate all those sins and sinful reaction when chanted without offense. When chanted lovingly in a helpless state, lovingly, meaningfully. hmm, So that stage is currently, like for myself, the stage that I am doing japa is very casual, inattentive, or offense based japa. Then there is a clearing stage that okay, one is doing attentively and very focused, is the clearing stage. And then there is the pure stage where one is not chanting, rather calling, not calling even, rather crying, showing dependence. So that stage. So in that stage, all the sinful reaction is washed away. Krishna says, "Na sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja. Am tvam sarva papebhyo mokshishami ma sucha." He says in Bhagavad Gita, "Do not fear. I will give you all protection. Just take shelter of me. Abandon all other varieties of religion." So in this life, if we just take shelter of Krishna, then whatever we were supposed to be receiving from all our previous lives, eternal, since eternity, countless lives, everything will be washed away. Just a residual token for this life itself, which is also a grace and blessing of Krishna, so that we can be on the right path. We don't get distracted. We don't lose focus. Just that much. If we can be just Krishna conscious for whatever from now on, in good devotee association. Does this answer your question? Alan, you were saying something.
With the japa, it's easy to be casual. You know, if we're devotees and we have many things to do through the day, and in the morning program, we have 1.5 hours to try and, get the majority of our rounds done. So it's easy to try and chant quickly. And I think this is a problem where we can get casual with it, because if we're wanting to celebrate the name, then it's going to be more meaningful and more slowly, with attention on the feeling and the reverence and love. And so I think this is the problem we have when we're sitting in this place, and it's, I've only got 1.5 hours, and I've got service to do, and I've got work to do, and I've got to do this. So I'm trying to get my rounds done. And maybe that's not as nice as, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. So I feel that, and I have this problem also.
Moksha Prabhu, he holds Japa Sanghas, Japa seminars. He is very good. 40 years he has been doing Japa and conducting seminars and all. He has got very good faith and tremendous realization in everything. Tell you something. Okay, so this is a question. The amount of time it takes to complete one round of good Japa, and the amount of time it takes to complete one round of inattentive, slow, sloppy japa, which takes more time? The inattentive, slow, sloppy japa, sleepy japa, or one round of attentive, clear, happy japa, which takes more time? We see is the one inattentive one will take more time than the attentive, the happy, the careful japa, concentrated, focused. The inattentive, why it will take more time, in the sense that we will be very much in the mode of ignorance, mind wandering here and there, or body dozing off, or japa is there, lip is there, but heart is not at all there. So actually, if we train ourselves, we see it takes maybe less, if not more, the amount of time to do a good round of japa than as such it takes to do a bad round of japa. Although one may say, well, I chant very quickly. I can, with my eyes open, hands and legs moving, I chant very quickly, and I can I can do squeeze one round in less time. Very passionate japa. But again, that sort of passionate japa, uh, although we do it very quickly, but we won't be able to sustain it. It won't take us. And actually, even though, like different thoughts say, even though our japa goes mechanical, but even that mechanical japa is good because it is that mechanical japa only which will then put us in a trajectory wherein we can come and do some focused japa. Shikoranta Mayapur Sashi ki jai. So it is educating and training ourselves. We may have 1.5 hours. All of us say have got that much around that much time. So why should I worry in that 1.5 hour of things that I have to do beyond the japa time? That anyways I have to do, and that anyways has to be done beyond the japa time. So why do I not for now settle myself and just focus on what I've got in the hand, japa? Yeah? Because thinking far ahead anyways won't sort anything out. And rather, we don't live in the present moment. Na? When doing japa, we think of, oh, what is there in the fridge? I need to reply to that email. I need to check that mailbox. So many such things. And as the day progresses, oh, I better be doing japa. I better be doing japa. It's a thing when we are living in Scotland, we think, oh, Vrindavan. We think Vrindavan. And when we are in Vrindavan, we may be thinking of Scotland or something. So it is training our mind. It is educating our mind. And it is not like a one night or one day sort of thing and gone. It's a journey. Gradually we progress, gradually we come about. Someone doing 1.5 hours, even though sloppy japa, but 1.5 hours someone giving. Credit should be given to that. No? At least 1.5 hours a person is giving it continuously at a stretch. Even though not doing good japa, but he is giving 1.5 hours. And that giving that time, making that effort, one day he will come to doing good japa. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, by suitable practice and regular practice, by attachment. By doing suitable regular practice, and we will learn this art of detachment as well, not thinking of the future and not thinking of the past as well, present. And how best that will come about when we actually listen to the pastimes of Krishna. When we listen to the pastimes of Krishna, only then we can chant attentively. Only then. When we listen, then the message of the spiritual world will enter our heart through the medium of ears when we listen from a realized soul. Then that potency will penetrate in our heart. And then we would want to do japa lovingly, with concentration, with focus. It won't be a task for us then. Japa is not a task. Love is not a task, and it won't come about. Currently, we are heavily in our conditioned state. It may take some time, but then how much, how long and short depends on our attitude, depends on our hunger, depends on a bit of our sincerity, desire, our prayers, on our association. The journey can be made short or it can be a prolonged, long journey. Does this somewhat tie in with your question?
Yes, but the point was that sometimes to be attentive and to be fully immersed in the japa is not to have any thought on the time constraint. And sometimes it's easy to try and fit more rounds in a time. It's almost automatic. We are conditioned in our society to try and manage our time in such a way. And so this is what I was suggesting, that when we're when I'm like that, I feel the quality of my japa isn't very good. With no focus on the time and just focus on, having a good relationship with the name, then it's very nice. I get nice feeling of love, but I don't get that when it's mechanical.
I have two questions for you, Alan. One question is natural on your question. Another, I just got reminded, a friend actually asked me a question, and I thought I will ask that with you as well. Maybe later on I will ask that question. But for now, can you tell us, I'm sure you would know, your Scottish, I'm sure you know. Um, in how much time was Rome built? In how many days, months, or years?
People say it wasn't built in one day.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that is what I've heard. Rome was not built in a day. In how many days was it built then? Or months or years? Doesn't matter, it was not built in a day, right? The point being, when everyone starts doing japa from 0 round only. At one point, we all were doing how many rounds? 0. And now we do daily prescribed rounds. So Rome was not built in a day. Fine. Don't know how many days, but certainly it was not built in a day. So a time will come wherein the mood, everything will be there in sync. Hour and a half, we won't be focused around the hours and all. And we will see it is not about the quantity, it is about the quality. Krishna appreciates the quality. He's all after the bhav, mood. He's not at all. It is not that I've done 16 rounds that pleases Krishna. No? He's after the mood in japa, the bhav in japa. And mood is something which is not mechanical, definitely. And it is not something that overnight I get into the mood. Huh? Many things like they say what? No struggle, no joy. No struggle, no joy. So this struggle in itself it's a joyous struggle, and it will put us in a trajectory when we do good japa. So hour and a half, it is not again like, okay, 8 rounds, 10 rounds, 12 rounds. And sometimes we can train our mind that I'm not counting the rounds. I'm not like, okay, how many rounds as such. I just want to sit for an hour and release japa. I look forward to doing japa. I release japa, 1 hour, hour and a half. Or we have to, Mahaprabhu's teaching is what? Kirtanya Sadahari. That is the platform we want to attain. That is the teaching of Mahaprabhu. We see na Tinadapi Sunichena Tarorapi Sishna Amanina Mandena Kirtanya Sadahari. We chant daily na before going into our japa. That always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. This is the platform we want to attain. And in this platform, there is not like, okay, how many rounds or how many hours. When we breathe, do we count how many breaths I've taken? I don't at least. So breathing is natural. When we are sleeping also we breathe, right? When we are walking, sitting, whatever, we breathe. And it is natural. Likewise, loving Krishna is natural. It has to come to our natural state. And at that state, one wouldn't keep hold. How many rounds have I done? How many hours have I given? We have to see, as we were discussing now, before coming into Krishna consciousness, our understanding of the concept of God is very sloppy. So coming into Krishna consciousness, devotee is very seriously hammer us, huh, from different angles and all, and train us and make us very paka. Oh, Krishna is the supreme personality of God. Bhagavad Gita, Brahma Samhita, Bhagavatam. Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. Uh, and then a stage has to come wherein we go beyond as such rules, regulations. That doesn't mean we don't follow or we don't care for them, but we are not after as such this scripted rules, regulation in the sense rounds, hours, this, that. No, it need not be a robotic process. Krishna says now in Bhagavad Gita, Su Sukham Kartum Avyayam. It is a relishable process. So we come to a stage in we relish japa. Mahatma Prabhupada's disciple, he does many seminars on japa workshops and all. He has got japa reform books and whatnot. One of the quote, he says, I like it, but our approach towards japa, our mood towards japa is what? I get to do japa, I want to do japa, I love to do japa. So we should be very thankful I get to do japa. Baba, 1.5 hours we get in one go, in good association, to be in the temple room and sit and do japa more than 1.5 hours. Such a blessing. I look forward to I get to do japa. Then I like to do japa. I love to do japa. I want to do japa. A stage has to come, which will come within this 1.5 hour, close to 2 hours. We are chanting, and the chanting will chant us. It has to come like very unconscious, not conscious. And it will come in this 1.5 hour or 2 hour time zone only. So it is to train. And how will this come is only when we hear the pastimes of Krishna, when we hear the message of Krishna. Only then the message is to go to soul deep, our heart. Then mind and intelligence will naturally get sorted. But if we are trying to work hard on our mind and intelligence without involving the heart in, without involving the soul, without getting into the crux or the essence or the fundamental basics of it, we won't really relish. The Hare Krishna Mahamantra is a rasa mantra. It is a Yugal Upasana mantra. The entire pastime of Radha Krishna is there in the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. The Mahamantra is a live personality. Everything is live in the eternal realm. And see the beauty of this mantra, like what Gajendra is chanting, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Many of these Vedic mantras, there is Om or Nama. Nama means what? To offer obeisances. We offer our obeisances. But in Hare Krishna Mahamantra, there is no Nama, there is no offering of obeisances. Radha and Krishna are paraspar united. They are in union and they are in separation in this mantra, in the chanting. It is a world in itself, wherein Radha Krishna and the other gopis, gopas, everyone is there, united and sometimes separated. And we have an active role of participation to play. By good japa, we can experience separation. Separation is extremely essential for us to experience, to bring about that love. We cannot be attached to Krishna until and unless we experience separation from Krishna. Impossible. Impossible. We cannot develop an emotion, a mood, until and unless we experience lack of emotion and lack of mood. Only one who experiences a lack of emotion, lack of mood in loving Krishna, only he or she will develop the emotion or mood to love Krishna. And it is this experience, coming to an experience of a lack of emotion, lack of mood. Only one who can firmly vouch out, realize, convince himself and say, Krishna, I don't love you. Only he or she can love Krishna. Only he or she loves Krishna. One who can convince himself that Krishna, I don't love you. This one can realize in japa. Good japa means, okay, this is a question. Does good japa mean we are experiencing Krishna more close, or we are experiencing that Krishna, you are far from me, or I am far from you? Does good japa mean that Krishna, yes, I am experiencing you very close to me, or I am close to you? Or it means that Krishna, good japa, I am experiencing Krishna, you are far from me, or we are apart from each other. Good japa means experiencing that Krishna, I am way far away from you. Good japa is to bring about a sense of humility, and in a sense of humility, the lover is always, the beloved is always far above from the lover. I don't deserve you, I don't get you. That emotion has to come about. Japa is of the sentiment, of the emotion. We live in this world wherein we are time constrained and also we fit in a time. But this fitting in a time is not the thing we are after. It is very much required, but then it is required to be given up only. Is it tying in with your question? By good japa, we realize what? That Krishna, I am far from you. The good japa one does, he will realize that not how high he is, not how pure he is, rather how low he is, how fallen he is. Why? The contrast, advancement in Krishna consciousness in realizing the contrast of purity, contrast of emotion, contrast of love, contrast of relationship a sadhaka has with Krishna. Advancement is not in realizing how close have I come from to Krishna. Rather, real advancement is in realizing how far am I from Krishna. And in that realization only, one can chant submissively, lovingly, with humility. One can be respectful of others. So as you see, Krishna is so beautiful, so beautiful. We desire him, but we don't deserve him. He's so beautiful that we hanker to have him. We desire to have him. And at the same time, we are thoroughly realized, we are thoroughly made aware that we don't deserve him because we are so fallen. So what does one do in that state? Generally children, they desire to have ice cream. But they know, oh, I don't deserve, my mother won't allow me, my father won't allow me. Something, I desire to have this dress, but I know I won't be allowed. I desire to stay awake, I desire to play, but I know I have to go to rest, mother won't let me. So in that state, what does a child do? Cries only. Cries that let me be, please allow me. Just 30 more minutes and all. So in good association, when hearing Krishna Katha, we'll realize how beautiful Krishna is. And when we see his real beauty, a sadhaka will realize not how close have I come, rather how far am I from Krishna. Go on. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the holy name is not different from Krishna. Good question. And as we are chanting, then in good concentration, we'll experience that yes, we are not far from Krishna, or we are in, say, in union, we are with Krishna, and we are in love with Krishna, right? And in that Sishtastam itself, na, Mahaprabhu chanting and crying the holy name. And he experiences what? He says, Yugaitam nimeshena chakshusha pravashaitam shunyaitam jagat sarvam govinda virhe name. That even though chanting and everything, and each moment I am experiencing huge separation. And this is the love means obsession. Love means possession. And we see in the pastime of Radha Krishna, they are together, but yet they they are together, but yet she is wondering that he is not here. He's right there. Oh, has he gone? Is he coming? When he, that sort of emotion, even though there, but not there. That sort of thing. And when we chant, what do we realize? How holy am I, or how oh, holy am I? Yeah. How much holes have I got in my consciousness? Is that what we realize, or how wholesome is my consciousness? Such is the process of love. Yeah. And it is a bit of foolish of someone trying to explain love. If someone tries to define love, uh, it is very foolish of that personality who's trying to define love, who's trying to describe love, who's trying to explain love. One of the symptom or emotion of love is that I have not got it. My beloved is so bigger, I don't deserve. I don't have it. And this is what our acharyas have demonstrated, prayed, and even in Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam we see this Krishna saying to us. When we chant the holy name in good union, good focus and everything, so yeah, holy name is not different from Krishna. Yet Krishna is not as such in our vision personally present to us. So Krishna gives us that symptom. Yes, I'm not different, but yet he's not personally present. He comes in that remembrance, he's there, but still not there in a way. And it is all to prepare to us to get a direct darshan of Krishna and further hanker to be in the pastimes of Krishna. That thing. Until and unless we realize how fallen we are, we cannot at all attain Krishna. Gajendra, he is praying. Why? Because he realized I have reached my bottom, not top. So this is the paradox. To advance in Krishna consciousness, this is a question. To advance in Krishna consciousness, do I need to realize my topness or my bottomness? Bottomness. What did Arjuna realize? Did he realize his topness or bottomness? If topness is a word, by the way, I don't know. And if bottomness is a word, by the way, I don't know. I told you my England is not so good. I'm not from England. My England is not so good. So you have to please pardon me. England is not my fourth language, by the way. So if there is something as bottomness and take it, bottomness and take in some topness. Now that I'm sitting on the Vyasasana with microphone in front of me, I can make up, right? Who can stop me? So Arjuna, what did he realize? Did he realize his topness or bottomness? Who was Arjuna, by the way? Just for our clarity, he was a warrior, not one ordinary warrior. He beat even Lord Shiva. He beat Indra. He went to the heavenly planets. He fought with them and he beat them. So Arjuna, that Arjuna, so top moralist, top class moralist, top class archer, Dronacharya, Bhishma Pitama, they rank him the top. Even as a young boy, he single-handedly saved the Bhishma Pitama, the Kuru dynasty, from another king at one point, even as a young boy. That Arjuna, he's top in everything, very pious, very shastric, very moral, very handsome, very skillful, everything best, top of the topness. But what did he realize? His bottomness. Until and unless Krishna consciousness is what? It is to demonstrate our utter dependence on Krishna. That is Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness is not a textbook translation that this means Krishna consciousness. It is a realization. It is an experience. It is a transformation of heart, a real cry, a real hankering, a real transformation. We read shlokas, not translation, and what do we read? Purport. What is purport? Purports are Prabhupada's meditation, Prabhupada's realizations, Prabhupada's experiences, Prabhupada's cry. That is coming out from his heart. Yeah. So it is a wholesome transformation. For us as well, chanting Hare Krishna and to have that wholesome transformation, we need to realize our bottomness. Only then we'll understand our topness. I tell you one thing. Living in New York, I was in a church service once, and the vicar, and Matthew, I remember Matthew Potter, he gave a very good sermon, and he gave a very good talk. Three things he said on prayers, on loving God. One was hard work or determination, some things. Another I don't remember, but one I definitely remember, and it struck chord with me. I felt very good listening it. Liked it. What he said: the holy uses the lowly. In Christianity, the Trinity, God the Father, God the Son, and the Holy Spirit. So the holy uses the lowly. And it is a fact. It is a fact. Even in Christianity, we see the disciples of Jesus, those 12 disciples, I think, apostles. Who were them? One was a fisherman, was it not? One was Thomas, the doubter, they call it, something. Used to doubt a lot. One of them used to doubt a lot, Thomas the doubter. One was a fisherman, one was this. None of them were any educated, any scholarly, any Brahmanically trained and all. But what did they have? They had pure faith in Jesus. He's the man of God. He's the Son of God. He's pure. He has got it. They had not seen God, Baba. None of them. But they saw Jesus. They believed in Jesus. Jesus motivated you and everything. So that sort of thing. They had that faith in Jesus. So the holy uses the lowly. Now imagine, Krishna did he need Arjuna to win this war? Krishna needed Arjuna for anything as such? Or Mahaprabhu, does he need us to help push forward his mission? Prabhupada, does he need us to help push forward the Sankirtan movement? Bhaktivinoda Thakur, did he needed Prabhupada? Prabhupada said actually, that is, Prabhupada said what? Bhaktivinoda Thakur didn't need me to push forward the mission. And Acharyas don't need us. It is their mercy that they've already established everything, but they leave it okay for us, for our benefit only altogether. So Krishna didn't need Arjuna at all to win the war. He used Arjuna. And whom can Krishna use? Only one who allows himself to be used by Krishna. Whom can Krishna use? Only who thinks himself to be unworthy. only who thinks himself to be incapable, only who realizes that I'm genuinely fallen. Imagine I walk up to Krishna, uh, ding dong, hey Krishna, I'm very qualified by the way, just to let you know. I've marked up 10 more shlokas today just so that you are aware. And I'm very clean, very punctual. I'm a very quiet personality. And everything good. And you can see the recommendation from the temple president as well. I've got all these brilliant things in me. So you can use me, Krishna. No. Krishna is not looking for that, not at all. So it is having this attitude, coming to this realization, this attitude. One who is clear, aware, understands his bottomness, Krishna, he will reach the heights in Krishna consciousness. One who can submit his dependence on Krishna altogether. That thing. This is what Gajendra is doing. He saw, well, I have all the strength, I have the family, wives, children, all the strength, everything. But yet, this is beyond me. And what is he doing? He's praying, Krishna, only you can help. Only and only you can help. So that is japa. When we do good japa, of course we experience some peace, we experience some clarity or some good head, good thought, like stability in the mind. And we come over in the practice of Krishna consciousness in good association. We don't get much tempted by any such un-Krishna conscious activities and all on those lines and all. But that is not the purpose. This is just a purification to help us understand how far off we are from Krishna. That thing, even though good japa and everything, have we got darshan of Krishna? Then what good is that? Have we channelized ourselves in that eternal engagement? No, not yet. Does this somewhat tie in with your question, Ananda, or something? So Krishna consciousness is demonstrating one's utter dependence on Krishna. The society works in a completely different way. Society teaches us what? Be independent. Dependence is a sign of weakness. Dependence is a sign of weakness in society. And independent is a sign of strength in society. But in Krishna conscious society, dependence is a sign of strength altogether. And someone who is independent, demonstrating independent nature, independence, that sense that I can do it on my own, is a complete sign of weakness. So that is good japa. Doing good japa, what do I realize? Am I closer to Krishna or am I far from Krishna? One can see. Shishikorantai Mayapur Sashi ki jai. If I realize I'm closer to Krishna, is that a safe position to realize? Or is it safe to realize I'm far from Krishna? How come? Mike is there, by the way.
Well, if you're thinking you're closer to Krishna, you're maybe in a false sense of security. But
Why would it be, say, a false sense of security? I'm closer to Krishna, then this is like I'm doing devotional service very good, very fine. I'm following rules, regulations, everything, and I am experiencing that closeness with Krishna. Experiencing closeness with Krishna can bring a sense of complacency. Yeah. And experiencing distance with Krishna or from Krishna will bring a sense of urgency. Now, and that is what good japa will make us realize. Good japa can never make us realize. Someday, if some sadhaka does good japa, na, he can never claim, genuinely, he can never claim, I did good japa today, by the way. Or last 3 days, I've been doing very good japa. Pasane kutibo matha, anare pasibo, gorange raguna nidhi, kota gele pabo. So this is a song now, or Acharya sang um, on like Jayanilo Primadhana, Karuna Prachur, Kotha Gelo. So one who brought this pure love, practice of Krishna consciousness, and in experience, in separation, one is experiencing that I bang my head on wall. Actually, if one day one does good japana, what he do? He would want to bang his head on the wall. Or, Bhaktivinoda Thakur or our acharyas, they used to dig up a hole, go inside the earth or go inside the cave and do japa. Because like when doing good japa, the vibration is so strong, you just cannot stand anything. And the vibration is so strong that the soul will hanker to free himself from this material body. It would want to come out of this material body. Such strong spiritual sound vibration, how can one afford to be engaged in this material body? No. So in good japa, will one realize I am close to Krishna or far from Krishna? The day one does a good japa, he or she, in my understanding, would rather claim that I have not done good japa. It is a path of excellence, not of perfection. Krishna consciousness is a path of excellence, not perfection. And when one is traversing the path of excellence, can he ever say, I have excelled it? No. He's always excelling, always excelling. So, not yet had it. No, it's still not good. Good is still not good. Good japa is still not good enough. That should be the realization. Only then one can be safe. Otherwise, no. So it is japa is to realize us to take shelter. This is when a crisis is there for us to take shelter. So many, it is only going through that purification. We need tremendous purification, but can we ever say that we have become pure enough? Never. We can never be pure enough. We can never be pure enough until and unless we get direct darshan of Krishna, until and unless we are directly embraced by Yog Maya in the eternal pastimes of Krishna. Until that point, we can never afford to think that I have become pure enough. Fine, we have made some good start, or we have made some start. But what is our calculation, by the way? Oh, I don't drink anymore. What's the big deal? What is the big deal? There are many who don't drink anymore. I'm not attracted anymore in sense gratification or relationships. Prabhupada writes or says, what's the big deal? Tiger lion has sex once a year. What's the big deal? I don't eat meat anymore, by the way. I sit, but I don't. Pigeons don't eat meat. Cows don't eat meat. I don't eat meat. I don't take intoxication. No meat eating. I don't gamble anymore. So, what? Yeah. So, this is kind of rough our calculation. Oh, how far have I come? How sane I can wake up now, 4 a.m. and all. I can be on time for Mangal Arti. This is good, but it is not at all good enough. We can never be pure enough. So, believe it or not, in Krishna consciousness, we are left with only two things. One is try, to make efforts. And that making efforts is never complete enough. So then we end up with the other thing, the only thing is to cry, is cry. And believe it or not, those who have attained Krishna, they have attained out of cry only, after crying only. Gajendra, he's crying. Arjuna, he cried. Draupadi cried. Those who have attained Krishna have attained after crying only. A small example maybe we can take, then we'll try to sing Parama Karuna. Today's Sri Lalochan Das Thakur's appearance day as well, and he had this written this Vaishnava bhajan. What is it called? A mug or a cup? A glass mug or a cup? Huh? How is it made? It goes in chambers of fire. Many stages and processes. Huh? We can check into the details, but it is given. The shape doesn't just come about like that. No, it goes through lots of stages of purification. Gold, you know, so much of purification, heating, burning, fire, temperature, what not. Now the gold may be saying, "Oh, leave me, I'm done. This is it." No, no, go more. You have to go more. Until and unless you come out like 24 carat shining gold altogether. Until and unless we see na in museums or what souvenirs in shops, souvenirs in museums, and this mug or this cup or this plate or this thing sold for this much and all inside glass. And imagine the mug when comes, oh, sold for only this much. Do you understand the pain I went through, the struggle I went through, the cries I made? But my owner, he was not leaving me, he was not sparing me. I was saying I'm done, but he knew, no, you are not done yet. You still have some distance to cover. You still have some purification to go through. So point being, we can never allow to tell ourselves, we have done good japa. Good japa is not to realize Krishna. Yes, I'm close to you, Krishna. It is rather to realize how far off am I. If we one day we happen to do somehow good japa, we won't be able to stop, and we won't be able to stop crying because we would experience separation. That we have not made it. Only a pure devotee can think or say, I've not yet made it. And that's the safest thing. That's the safest thing. Maybe to end the thought, we can check a bit more also another day. There are two things in life. One is acknowledgement. One is acknowledgement, and another, what would be the opposite of, I don't know if that's the opposite. One is acknowledgement, and another is claiming, to claim. One is to acknowledge, and another is to claim. Acknowledging is liberating. Acknowledge liberates us. Acknowledgement can liberate us altogether. What acknowledgement? I have to become a pure devotee yet. This acknowledgement. I have to do good japa yet. Someday in the morning, if we think by our calculation and standards, I've done good japa. What? I claim I have done good japa. Another, I acknowledge I have to do good japa yet. So if I claim I have done good japa today and I experience Krishna in my japa today, it is bonding myself, bondage, binding myself. Yeah, this is my limit I have reached and all. Yeah, this is the standard and and I aim for, or maybe a bit more, a bit more. But if I acknowledge I have not made it yet, I have not become a pure devotee yet, then I cannot lose sight of that focus. Krishna loves someone who does not lose sight of his focus. Krishna loves someone who is desperate, who is very much still going on and on and on. That we'll see in these prayers of Gajendra as well. Does this somewhat tie in with your question, Alan? परम करुणा पहो दुविजन निताई गौर चंद्र पर परम करुणा पहो दुविजन निताई गौर चंद्र परम सब अवतार सार शिरोमणि केवल आनंद कंद सब अवतार सब अवतार सार शिरोमणि केवल आनंद कंद भजो भजो भाई चैतन्य निताई सुदृढ़ विश्वास कोरी भजो 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 भाई चैतन्य निताई सुदृढ़ विश्वास कोरी विषय छड़िया सिर से मजिया मुखे बोलो हरि हरि विषय विषय छड़िया सिर से मजिया मुखे बोलो हरि हरि देखो रे भाई त्रिभुवन नाई हे मोने दयाल दाता देखो रे भाई देखो रे भाई त्रिभुवन नाई हे मोने दयाल दाता पशु पाखी जूरे पाषाण विदारे सुनी जर गुण गाथा पशु पाखी जूरे पासन विदारे सुनी जर गुण गाथा संसारे माजिया रोहिली पोड़िया ए पद नाही लो आशा संसारे माजिया रोहिली पोड़िया से पद नाही लो आशा अपना करम भुजाए समान कोय लोचन दास अपना अपना करम भुजाए समान कहो लोचन दास परम करुणा पहो दुई जान निताई गौर चंद्र हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 राम हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. जय गौरानिताय, 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 जय गौरानिताय. Jai Gaur Premanandi. Okay, we quickly go through the translations. Again, say the point being, what constitutes a good japa? What means a good japa? We can read the translation and see what it means, good japa. That how can I deny as such that it was not a good japa? I definitely did a good japa today, say. Or this in good japa, I should be experiencing Krishna close to me. Krishna is japa, Hare Krishna Mahamantra is not different from Krishna. And I'm chanting with attentiveness, I'm chanting with clarity, concentration, loving emotion, and everything. So I should be experiencing that, yes, I'm with Krishna. So Parama Karuna, what's the translation, please?
The two lords Nitai Gaurachandra are very merciful. They are the essence of all incarnations. The specific significance of these incarnations is that they introduce a process of chanting and dancing that is simply joyful. My dear brother, I request that you just worship Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda with...
Now in this, Shishikharata Mayapur Sachi Ki Jai. Now Srila Lochan Das Thakur is praying this. So we see, first try to see first three verses or four stanzas, and then finally in his offering we see if it ties in with good japa. In good japa, do we experience Krishna close to us or far from us? Now he is saying, my dear brother. So Lochan Das Thakur, whom is he addressing? Whom is he saying, brother? Whom is he calling as brother? My dear brother, what does it say? My dear brother, please engage. I request you that you worship Nitai Gaur Sundar. Is he referring to his brother? Or is he referring to the people in the village, commonly as brothers, sisters? Brother, in our Acharya's Vaishnava songs, bhajans, my dear brother, referring to mind, my own mind. My dear friend, my dear brother, mind. Please, please, my mind, engage in the eternal loving pastimes of Krishna. In hearing, immerse yourself. This is my request, my dear mind, to you. Please engage, please immerse yourself, please allow yourself to enter. So now read, my dear brother.
My dear brother, I request that you just worship Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda with firm conviction and faith. If one wants to be Krishna conscious by this process, one has to give up his engagement in sense gratification. One simply has to chant Hare Krishna, Hare Hare without any motive. My dear brother, just try and examine this. Within the three worlds, there is no one like Lord Chaitanya or Lord Nityananda. Their merciful qualities are so great that upon hearing them, even birds and beasts cry and stones melt.
Such merciful. Upon hearing them, birds and beasts cry and stones melt. Hmm. The jacket may be someone's jacket. Or that birds and beasts cry and stones melt. Such merciful. And this is a realization of Srila Lochan Das Thakur. Everything like with regards to the holy name, with regards to the practice of Krishna consciousness, he's so convinced, so realized that the purity, the mercy of the holy name. Please continue.
But Lochandas regrets that I am entrapped by sense gratifications. Since I have no attraction for the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, then Yamaraj, the superintendent of death, is punishing me by not allowing me to be attracted by this movement.
Now, who is this Lochan Das Thakur, our Acharya? One of our Acharya, the pure devotee of Lord. Now, what is he ending his prayer with? He's ending with acknowledgement. Heartfelt acknowledgement. No sense of claiming. He's claiming, is this the fourth? He's claiming in top three stanzas. Claiming what? Parama Karuna. Nitai Gaur Sundar, you both are ultimately merciful, beyond imagination. That upon your hearing your holy name, birds and beasts cry. Such sweet is your name. Hmm? And what? No one can bestow this love of Godhead beyond the three worlds, what you are bestowing us. Huh? My mind, please engage in hearing these nectarian pastimes of Nitai Gaur Sundar, the loving pastimes. And free myself from sense gratification. I would free myself hearing these pastimes. But then, like, he's glorifying so much holy name. Glorifying Radha Krishna, the pastimes, Krishna consciousness overall. But finally, what is his realization? I am bereft of it. I don't have it. I'm yet to get it. I have no taste. I'm not doing any good japa. Certainly, he has written his. But what is his realization? Krishna, I'm so far from you. Not that you are far from me. You are right there, perhaps. But I am so far from you. So this acknowledgement, and what is he acknowledging? We need to point a finger somewhere, right? So it is my own karma. Yeah? I'm entrapped because of my own desires, my own karma. Apana karma bhunjaya samana. Because of my own karma and all everything, I am entrapped. Everywhere, everything is merciful. Now, Krishna, Gaur Sundar, if you don't, you are Patita Pavana. And I am the fallen. You are the deliverer of the fallen person. I am the fallen person. I am the one who is doing bad japa, Krishna. I'm not doing good japa. I need more mercy. I need more help here. That realization, Shishikorantai Mayapur Sashi Ki Jai. So, he or she is safe who has found their bottomness in japa, not their topness. Who has found their ultimate bottomness in the practice of Krishna consciousness. It is a practice, again, part of the practice, and it is not different from the practice as well. Everything, whatever we do, but it is coming to this heart, coming to this consciousness altogether. When we leave our body, most likely we will be alone leaving our body. And this Gajendra is realizing. Even though everyone is in front of him, he is helpless and he is realizing, I have to leave my body on my own. And because of his past, we'll continue maybe another day, and we'll see because of his past Krishna consciousness, this this current state of his prayerful attitude, mood, and is coming about. But we cannot rely on that for ourselves. So when we leave our body, we will be living on our own only. And when we leave our body, what is it we have in our hands? Our wisdom, whatever wisdom we have managed to accumulate, only that. whatever vice scruples we manage to hold on to, whatever focus or whatever we are most attached to, whatever we are hankering or desiring, that is what will come. And whatever we were grudging and all holding on to, that is what will come. Yeah. So it is preparing our consciousness altogether. Uh, that is Krishna consciousness, completely non-sectarian. It has got nothing to do with matter or any material identity or any such material thought process. So it is submitting this prayer. The holy uses the lowly. So we have to realize how lowly am I? Do I need Krishna? If I really can put forward this application, yes, I need Krishna, then Krishna is there. But if any iota of this sense of accomplishment or this comes about claiming that yes, I have got it, or I have come this close. Yeah, I've 75% I've become Krishna conscious. Just almost there. You know, we are almost there, but not yet there. We are almost there. We are on the threshold of entering the kingdom of God. We are literally on the threshold, but still not there. And this is the gap. And this gap will always remain. Will always remain. We cannot deny we are not a devotee. We don't deny that. But we are not a pure devotee yet. So some thoughts on that. Kindly accept whatever scattered consciousness I have. Any final thoughts, questions, comments, or clarifications? Yes, Prabhu.
I would just like to say thank you much for a wonderful lesson. It was very poignant. I enjoyed it very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu. It is the company of sadhus like yourself which enthuse the speaker. So kindly continue blessing us. And because you are a very dear friend, so as we said, there's a question for you. Actually, a friend asked me this question, and because you are a dear friend, so how can I not be a bit kind to you? So this question is for all of us. It's a good question. My friend asked me this question. So the question is, what is it, emotion, a quality, a trait, which is a asset in material life, but a liability in spiritual life, a liability in pure Krishna consciousness, in Krishna consciousness. What quality, what is that quality, emotion, a trait, which is a sheer blessing in our material life, day-to-day life, student life, working life, family life, whatever life. It is a sheer blessing, but it is a proper curse in Krishna consciousness, in pure Krishna consciousness. What is that quality or emotion which is cherished, which is desirable, which is wanted, heavily cherished, heavily desirable, heavily wanted in material life, but it is horrible. It is it is to run away completely from in spiritual life, in pure Krishna consciousness. So for pride, I would say, pride is not desirable. Pride is not what we crave, hanker, want for in material life. Pride is not an asset we see in material life. Status? Status? Status is also something we don't crave for, hanker. It is not respectable. You know my status? I'm initiated now, by the way. You know my status. Status is not something admirable. So something on those lines. Kindly think someone asked me, a friend, and my friend said, okay, you can, because I was annoyed, so I thought I may. So Yeah, because you are dear friends, so let me be good to you and ask this question. Yeah, we can think more on it. We can think more on it. And in Krishna consciousness, when we aim for eternity, we can free ourselves from temporary problems. Problems in life are all temporary only. But why we get sucked in? Because we don't aim for eternity. We don't think eternity. We don't consider ourselves to be eternal. We don't have an eternal vision. If we have an eternal vision, we can be very peaceful. And Krishna consciousness is such a practice, na? At the same time, we will be very unpeaceful as well. We would be shattered. Honestly, I'm telling you, we all be watchful. Because if we especially Braj Bhakti, it is a very deep level of love. And this to bear separation in love is extremely difficult. Extremely difficult. ग्रंथ श्रीमद् भागवतम महापुराण की जय, शिल प्रभुपाद की जय, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदी, हरि हरि बोल।
His Grace Ananda Vigraha Prabhu Ki Jai.